Please don't demolish our house. Please demolish our house.
If money can buy everything, why couldn't it buy peace? Why couldn't it buy love? Why couldn't it stop one poor family from suffering under the richest man in the entire state? This is the story of the family that stood against a billionaire politician, and how it changed them forever. Mama Ijeoma always said the sky speaks before trouble comes. And on that strange Tuesday morning, the sky was gray even though it was not rainy season. The air felt heavy. The birds were silent. Even the goats refused to walk far from their mothers. The small community of Umuse, a poor but peaceful village, woke up uneasy. But nobody knew their lives were about to change forever. They were not rich. They were not powerful. They were not even loud people. They were just one simple family. Papa Ijeoma, a farmer with strong hands and a gentle heart. Mama Ijeoma, a soft-spoken woman who believed that kindness was stronger than money. Ijeoma, their 12-year-old daughter, smart and curious, always asking questions about life. Chike, her older brother, 17 years old, brave but sometimes too stubborn. Their house was small, a mud home with a leaking roof, but the family inside it had love so strong that even hunger could not break them. They believed in hard work. They believed in honesty. And they believed that one day, life would become easier. But life had other plans. Here comes the billionaire politician who owned everything. His name was Chief Emeka Okafor, the richest man in the region. A billionaire known for flashy cars, tall buildings, and long convoys that shook the ground when they passed. He smiled on TV. He promised the people a better life. He threw parties for rich friends and gave speeches about helping the poor. But people whispered the truth. Chief Emeka helps nobody unless cameras are watching. He takes land, he takes money, he takes respect. He treats people like ants under his shoe. He ruled the whole area with power and fear. And now, his eyes had fallen on Umuse village. At noon, the village bell rang. Gong, gong, gong. Everyone gathered at the old community square. A black SUV stopped, and a tall man wearing sunglasses stepped out. It was Chief Emeka's main assistant. He opened a paper and shouted with pride. By the order of Chief Emeka Okafor, the land of Umuse village is now needed for a new luxury estate project. Silence. Nobody breathed. He continued. All families must leave their homes within 30 days. Children gasped. Women held their chests. Men clenched their fists. Their land, their homes, their farms, their history, gone, just like that. The assistant finished. If you refuse to leave, security forces will remove you by force. Chief Emeka has already bought everything. Bought everything. Even the people. Even their future. Tears filled Mama Ijeoma's eyes. Papa Ijeoma put a hand on her shoulder, but his own hand was shaking. We have nowhere to go. Papa, Ijeoma whispered. Are we going to lose our home? Papa swallowed hard. He wanted to be strong. But the truth was painful. We don't know yet, my daughter, he said softly. But we will not give up. Chike stepped forward, angry. Why should one rich man push us out? Why should the poor always suffer? Mama held his hand before he could say more. They all stood there, small, confused, powerless, while the assistant climbed into his SUV and drove away without looking back. Dust rose behind the car, just like the hope of the people. That night, nobody in Umuse slept. Mothers cried quietly. Fathers whispered plans. Children held onto their blankets, afraid. Inside their small home, the poor family sat together in the dark. Only Papa's lantern glowed dimly. What will we do? Chike asked. Papa looked at each of them, his wife, his son, his little daughter. Then he said the words that began their journey. A billionaire can take our land, but he cannot take our voice. Tomorrow we fight back. Ijeoma looked up. But Papa, we are just a poor family. Papa touched her cheek gently. Sometimes, my child, the strongest battles are won by those who have nothing except courage. The next morning, the sun rose slowly, almost shy, like it didn't know if it should shine on a village filled with fear. But inside Papa Igioma's house, something different was rising too. Courage. Papa woke early, washed his face with cold water, and wore his oldest shirt, the one that made him look like a simple farmer. Because that was exactly who he was. A simple man. Ready to face a billionaire. Mama prepared pap for the children, her hands shaking slightly. Igioma, eat something, she said. I'm not hungry, Mama. Chike stood tall, fists clenched. Papa, tell us what to do. We can't let Chief Emeka take everything. Papa nodded slowly. Yes, but we must be careful. A man with money has many weapons. Igioma looked up. But, Papa, God is bigger than money. Papa smiled for the first time since yesterday. Yes, my daughter. He is. By afternoon, the villagers gathered again under the big Udala tree. More than 300 people stood there, mothers carrying babies, old women leaning on sticks, farmers with dusty shirts, children with curious eyes. Everyone looked tired, but determined. Papa stepped forward. A simple man with no title, no money, no power. Yet all eyes turned to him. He cleared his throat. Papa's speech, the words that shook you muse. My brothers and sisters, he began, voice steady. We are poor, yes. But we are not weak. The crowd murmured. This land, Papa continued, is not just soil. It holds our stories, our memories, our parents' graves. People nodded, tears forming. We cannot fight Chief Emeka with guns. We cannot fight him with money. But we can fight him with truth. The crowd clapped softly. Papa lifted his chin. We will go to the local government office tomorrow and speak as one voice. If Chief Emeka wants to take our land, he must face all of us. A tall young man raised his hand. But Papa, rich people don't fear the poor. Papa smiled sadly. They don't fear our pockets. But they fear our unity. The whole crowd erupted. Yes. It was the loudest sound Umuse had made in years. Igioma stood beside Mama, eyes shining. That's my papa, she whispered proudly. As the meeting ended, a short old man with a crooked walking stick touched Papa's arm. Come, he whispered. I have something to show you. They entered a small hut with cracks on the walls. The old man closed the door and pulled out a dusty envelope. This, he said, voice trembling, was given to me years ago by your late father. He said, if trouble comes for our land, give this to my son. Papa's heart thumped. He opened the envelope. Inside was a letter, written in shaky handwriting. Papa read it slowly. Then he froze. His father had written, if a powerful man tries to take Umu's land, remind the people that this land was never sold. It was given by our ancestors with rules that no chief or politician can break. Papa's hands shook. This wasn't just a note. It was evidence. Evidence that could stop Chief Emeka. The old man nodded. Your father was a wise man. He knew trouble would come one day. Papa breathed deeply. This letter could save us. Yes, the old man replied, but only if used carefully. If Chief Emeka finds out early, he may destroy it, or destroy you. Papa swallowed hard. Thank you, he said. The old man smiled sadly. Your father would be proud. Night before the battle. That night was long. Papa hid the letter under his mattress. Mama paced the room, whispering prayers. Chike sharpened sticks, even though they had no plan to fight physically. Igioma hugged her knees on the bed. Papa, she said softly, are you scared? Papa sat beside her. Yes, my child. Even strong men get scared. Then why are you still going? Papa smiled. Because courage does not mean you are not afraid. Courage means you walk forward even when your legs shake. Ijeoma rested her head on his arm. Papa, promise me you will come back safe. He kissed her forehead. I promise. Before sunrise, the entire village gathered at the main road. It was a sight nobody had ever seen. Old men leaning on sticks. Mothers carrying babies. Young people holding placards. Children holding leaves as signs of peace. Papa walking in front, the secret letter hidden in his pocket. It looked like a sea of hope, slowly moving toward the government office. Some people cried. Some prayed. Some marched silently. But they all moved together. A united poor community against a billionaire politician. And far away, in his mansion with gold-plated gates, Chief Emeka Okafor was watching. The march that shook the town. The villagers of Umuse walked for 2 long hours under the hot sun. Their legs hurt. Their throats were dry. Their clothes stuck to their skin. But they did not stop. Even little children kept walking. Because sometimes pain becomes small when the heart is big. Papa walked in front, his eyes focused, the secret letter hidden safely in his pocket. Chike walked beside him, tall and angry, ready to defend his family. Mama held Ijeoma's hand firmly. Are we almost there? Ijeoma asked. Yes, my child, Mama whispered. Just a little more. Finally, they reached the local government office, a tall building with glass windows and security guards everywhere. The villagers stood together like a brown sea of dust-covered hope. A guard stepped forward. Why are you people here? Papa raised his voice boldly. We want to see the chairman. Our village land is being taken from us. The guard laughed. Do you people have an appointment? Papa shook his head. No. But we have rights. The guard smirked. Rich people have rights. Poor people have complaints. But Papa didn't move. Neither did the villagers. After a moment, the guard finally went inside to inform the chairman. Minutes passed. People whispered. Children leaned on their mothers. Finally, the guard returned. The chairman will see. Only 5 of you. The villagers murmured angrily. But Papa lifted his hand. It's okay. Let the 5 go. He chose himself, Mama, Chike, a respected elder woman, and the village youth leader. Ijeoma watched them walk inside, her heart beating fast. Inside the government office. The office was cold, with air conditioner blowing like harmattan wind. The chairman, a round man with a shiny forehead, sat behind a large wooden desk. He pretended to smile. Welcome, good people of Umuse, he said. What brings you here? Papa stepped forward. Sir, our land is being taken for a project. But we have lived there for generations. Please help us. The chairman leaned back. Yes, I heard about it. Chief Emeka wants to build a luxury estate there. Mama spoke gently. Sir, we have nowhere to go. Our homes, our farms, our memories, everything is there. The chairman sighed dramatically. My people, the law is the law. Papa pulled out the secret letter, hands slightly shaking. Sir, this land was never sold. Our ancestors put rules in place. Here is proof. He placed the old letter carefully on the desk. The chairman raised his eyebrows, then frowned. Before he could read it fully, the office door burst open. It was Chief Emeka, wearing a shining white kaftan, dark glasses, and an angry face. His voice cut through the room. Who gave you permission to bring nonsense to my chairman? Papa stood tall. This is not nonsense. It is the truth. Chief Emeka laughed, a cold, empty laugh. You poor people never learn. Do you think an old letter can stop me? He picked up the letter and tore it into pieces. Right there. Slowly. deliberately. The sound of the tearing paper felt like the sound of breaking bones. Mama gasped loudly. Chike shouted, "Stop!" The chairman watched silently, afraid of the billionaire. Pieces of the letter fell to the floor like dead leaves. Papa bent to pick them. But Chief Emeka stepped on his hand with his polished shoe. Papa winced in pain but did not cry. "Listen carefully," Chief Emeka whispered. "You people are nothing." Tears rolled down Mama's cheeks. Chike's fists shook. The elder woman began to pray quietly. Chief Emeka leaned close to Papa. "You want a fight? You will lose." Then he stood straight and said loudly, "Chairman, remove these villagers from the office. I will handle their land my way." He walked out, leaving silence behind him. A painful, heavy silence. When the guards pushed them out of the building, the villagers rushed forward. "What happened? Did they help us? Papa, what did he say?" Papa did not speak. He simply opened his hand and showed them the torn pieces of the letter. A wail rose from the crowd, loud, painful, heartbreaking. Women cried. Men shook their heads. Children hugged their mothers. Ijeoma ran to Papa. "Papa, is it over?" Papa knelt and hugged her tightly. "No, my child. It is not over. But the road has become harder." Chike explodes. Chike stepped forward, eyes red. "No more talking. No more begging. Rich people treat us like animals. Let us fight back." Some young boys shouted, "Yes, we will fight." But Papa raised his voice. "No. Violence will destroy us faster than poverty." Chike turned to him angrily. "Papa, you still believe in peace? Can't you see? They don't respect us." Papa held his son's hand. "When the poor use violence, they lose. When the rich use violence, they win." Chike pulled his hand away and walked off. Mama whispered, "God, help us." That night, Umuse was silent again. No drumming. No laughter. No cooking sounds. Just fear. Papa sat outside, staring at the moon. Mama sat beside him, tears dry on her face. Ijeoma lay on the mat, pretending to sleep. Chike did not return until late. The family sat in darkness, not knowing that the next morning would bring the biggest heartbreak yet. A morning that smelled of trouble. The next morning, the sky was too quiet. No birds. No laughter. No children running. Even the wind was still, like it was holding its breath. Papa stepped outside and immediately felt something wrong in the air. Mama joined him. "Do you feel it?" she whispered. "Yes," Papa replied softly. "Something is coming." And something was coming indeed. A sound started far away. Vroom, vroom. Engines. Many engines. Papa's heart dropped. A long line of black SUVs and police trucks came into the village. Dust rose behind them like a brown cloud. People ran out of their houses. Children clung to their mothers. The old men leaned on their sticks, already shaking. Chike stepped outside, eyes burning. "Papa." They came. Papa held his arm. "Stay calm." But it was too late. The convoy stopped right at the village square. Doors opened. Police officers stepped out holding batons. Then, slowly, Chief Emeka Okafor stepped out, wearing a perfect white kaftan, a gold wristwatch, dark sunglasses. A billionaire dressed like he was attending a party, not destroying lives. He smiled, a smile with no heart. "My dear villagers of Umuse," he began, "I came to give you good news." Nobody answered. He continued, "Since you refused to move out peacefully, I have decided to start construction today." Gasps filled the air. A woman screamed, "No, please. We are still packing." Chief Emeka ignored her. He signaled to his assistant, who shouted, "Any house not empty today will be demolished." Demolished. Destroyed. Broken forever. Just like that. People dropped to their knees, begging. But Chief Emeka stepped past them like they were stones on the ground. Huge
Please
yellow
don't demolish
bulldozers
our
drove
house.
in, shaking
Please
the earth.
demolish our house.
Women grabbed their children. Men
Please
tried
don't
to
demolish
block
our
the
house.
machines.
Please demolish our house.
Give us time. We have nowhere to go. This is our home. But Chief Emeka waved his hand. Move them away. Police officers pushed people aside roughly. Papa stepped forward, voice strong. Chief Emeka, you cannot do this. We are still fighting legally. Chief Emeka laughed coldly. Legally? You people? Against me? Then he moved closer to Papa. You lost yesterday. And today. You lose everything else. Papa clenched his fists. But did not fight. Because if he hit a rich man, the whole village would suffer worse. Broken Heart, the first house to fall. The bulldozer moved toward the edge of the village. A small mud house. The home of an old widow. She ran forward crying. That is where my husband died. That is where my memories are. She fell on her knees. Please, I beg you. Chief Emeka looked at her. And gave the driver a thumbs up. The bulldozer roared. Then, crash. The house collapsed like sand. The widow screamed and fainted. Children cried loudly. The entire village felt the pain in their bones. Mama covered Igioma's eyes. Don't look, my child. But Igioma could still hear the sound. The sound of lives breaking. When they reached Papa's house. Soon, the bulldozers moved toward Papa's home. The house the family had built with their own hands. The house with the garden Mama planted. The house where Igioma learned to walk. The house where Chike first helped Papa fix the roof. Mama cried silently. Chike stepped forward, anger exploding. You will not touch our house. A police officer pushed him back. Papa held Chike firmly. No, my son. Not like this. But Papa. No. Papa lifted his hands peacefully. Chief Emeka, please. At least give us time to pack. Chief Emeka removed his sunglasses slowly. Time. He smiled cruelly. Yes. I will give you time. The villagers sighed in relief. But then he finished. You have 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Not 10 days. Not 10 hours. 10 minutes. To pack a whole life. 10 minutes of tears. The family rushed inside. Chike grabbed clothes. Mama grabbed pots. Igioma grabbed her small school books. Papa did not take anything. He only looked around the house slowly. Touching the walls. Touching the table. Touching the bed. Memory after memory returned to his mind. Mama touched his shoulder. Papa, take something. He shook his head. Home is not what we take. Home is what we lose. Mama began crying again. Outside, the bulldozer engine was already running. The police shouted. Time is up. Broken Heart goodbye, house. The family stepped out. Papa held Mama's hand. Chike held his sister tightly. The bulldozer rolled forward. Slowly. Steadily. Without mercy. Crash. The front wall fell. Dust covered the air. The roof crumbled next. The kitchen sank. Mama screamed. Igioma sobbed into Chike's shirt. Papa stood tall, tears in his eyes but refusing to fall. Within minutes, their entire home was gone. Pieces of wood. Broken plates. Shattered memories. All mixed in the dust. The village becomes a field of ruins. House after house fell. The school. The market. The church roof. Everything. By sunset, Umuse looked like a battlefield. People sat on the ground, holding broken belongings. Some fainted. Some prayed. Some screamed into the sky. Papa held his family close. "We are still alive," he whispered. But even he didn't know if they could survive what was coming next. Because Chief Emeka was not done. Not even close. A night of pain and questions. That night, Yumu's village sat under the stars like a wounded animal. No homes. No lights. No laughter. Just families sitting on the ground with their few belongings around them. The air carried the quiet sound of people crying softly. Children slept on their mothers' laps. Old men stared into the darkness, thinking of better days. Mama held Ijeoma close. "My child, God sees everything," she whispered. "But Mama," Ijeoma cried, "why does God allow rich people to hurt poor people?" Mama's heart squeezed painfully. "Sometimes, my daughter, God allows darkness so people can learn how to shine." Ijeoma didn't fully understand. But the words rested in her heart. Chike sat alone, staring at the ruins of their home. He clenched his fists. "Papa, we can't live like this," he said. Papa looked at him gently. "I know, my son. Then what do we do now?" Papa lifted his eyes toward the sky. "We wait, and we rise again." The morning of a new pain. The next morning, another convoy of cars returned. But this time, it wasn't police. It was television reporters. Many of them. Carrying cameras, microphones, and tripods. They walked around the village, filming the destroyed houses. One reporter pushed a microphone toward Papa. "Sir, is it true that Chief Emeka demolished your homes without warning?" Papa breathed deeply. "We were warned," he said. "But we were not given time. We were not respected. We were not treated like human beings." The reporters recorded everything. As they moved around, villagers gathered to give their testimonies. Mothers cried on camera. Children pointed at their broken roofs. Farmers showed their ruined farms. Within hours, the news spread across the whole state. People online became angry. Protests started in nearby towns. Human rights groups came forward. Chief Emeka didn't expect this. At all. The fall of a giant. Later that afternoon, something unbelievable happened. The governor announced. An investigation has been opened regarding Chief Emeka Okafor's land acquisition and forced demolition in Yumu's village. Everyone gasped. Rich people were rarely investigated. But this time, the suffering of the poor was too loud to ignore. Reporters kept coming. More videos went viral. More people spoke out. And slowly, Chief Emeka's perfect reputation began to crack. Contracts were suspended. Investors pulled out. People demanded justice. The billionaire who once felt untouchable was suddenly shaking. A surprising visitor. 3 days later, a black car arrived quietly in the village. This time, it wasn't Chief Emeka. It was the governor's own representative. A calm older woman stepped out holding documents. "I came on behalf of the governor," she said. "The demolition of your homes was illegal. The state is here to help." The villagers gathered around, unsure if they should believe her. She continued. "Your land can never be taken by force. We will rebuild Yumu's, better than before. Every family will receive compensation." People gasped. Some cried. Some fell to their knees in relief. Mama held her chest. "God, thank you," she whispered. The representative looked at Papa. "You spoke for your people," she said. "The governor wants to meet you personally." Papa blinked. "Me? Yes. Your courage saved this village." Chike smiled proudly for the first time in days. Ijeoma hugged Papa tightly. The fall of Chief Emeka. 1 week later, Chief Emeka was invited for questioning. He walked into the government building with his usual pride, but came out with shame covering his face. The news reported. Chief Emeka suspended from office pending full investigation. Luxury estate project cancelled. Villagers to receive justice and compensation. His power had cracks now. His name no longer brought fear. People finally spoke freely. Money is powerful, but truth is stronger. The poor have suffered enough. Let this be a lesson to all politicians. The rebuilding of Umuse. Construction trucks now filled the village. But this time, they came to build, not destroy. New houses with strong roofs. A new primary school. A community borehole. A small health center. Everything was modern, clean, and beautiful. When Papa saw the foundation of their new home, tears filled his eyes. Mama placed her hand in his. "We lost much," she said. "But look, something new is growing." Ijeoma ran around happily. "Papa, our house will be bigger." Chike laughed. "Maybe even with real windows this time." For the first time in a long time, they smiled from their hearts. But life is never perfect. Even though Umuse was being rebuilt, Papa fell sick from the stress and the long days of marching and fighting. He became weak. Doctors said his body had carried too much pain and too much pressure. Mama cried. Ijeoma refused to leave his side. Chike blamed himself for wanting to fight with anger. One quiet evening, Papa called his family close. "My beloveds," he whispered softly, "if anything happens to me, know this." They leaned in, listening closely. "I did not fight for land. I fought for dignity, for respect, so that no rich man will ever treat you like dust again." Tears fell. "But Papa," Ijeoma cried, "we need you." Papa stroked her hair gently. "You don't need a strong father forever. You just need to remember his strength." Mama held his hand. "Please don't leave us." Papa smiled weakly. "I am not leaving. I am only resting." And that night, Papa slept peacefully. He did not wake up again. The village mourned deeply. People cried for days. Even strangers came to pay respect to the man whose courage changed everything. Umuse buried him on a small hill, overlooking the village he saved. Months later, when all the new houses were complete, Mama gathered her children. "Ijeoma," she said softly, "what did you learn from all of this?" Ijeoma looked at the hill where Papa rested. "I learned that the poor are not weak," she said. "And the rich are not gods." Chike added. "And I learned that fighting with anger destroys, but fighting with truth wins." Mama nodded with pride. "Good. Remember this forever." She looked at the village. New homes, new hope, new strength. "Your father died a poor man," she continued. "But he left this village richer than any billionaire." White medium star moral of the story. Money can buy houses, but it cannot buy respect. A community united is stronger than a billionaire alone. The poor are not powerless. Silence is their biggest enemy. A good name is worth more than gold. Sometimes the ones who look weak are the strongest among us.